Hey guys, I am doing a babka video for you today. I got a bunch of requests after last week when I posted that cheat with the dough, which I will show you. I'm going to show you first my babka recipe. Back in, beginning of COVID, April, May, June, I did a lot of Zoom demos for schools, and it was always babka. And I think it's something people like. It looks so crazy complicated that it's new and exciting, and it's also a lot of hands-on. It's a lot of fun, and the technique, it's not hard at all. Once I show you guys, you'll be able to make your own. So we're gonna start with making our dough. There are tons and tons and tons of delicious babka recipes out there. Go ahead, use your own. This is the one I've been tried and true. I've been using it for a few years. I sell my babka and I always get back to this one because I love it. So without further ado, babka is a yeast dough like challah, so we are gonna make the dough and then give it probably 45 minutes to an hour to rise. It doesn't need to rise like the challah, but we still need rising. Okay, so I have in here, and I'm gonna post all the ingredients under here on the post. I'll put every ingredient, every measurement, so you guys know. So I have here a half a cup of warm water, a teaspoon of sugar, and 2 1/4 teaspoon yeast, which is 1 envelope, but I have my yeast spoon that I love. We're gonna mix that, set it aside. Now I always like to proof my yeast on the side, but truth be told, you can do this straight in the bowl, wait 5 minutes, and then add the rest of the ingredients in, so one less thing to dirty. Okay, now everything else gets dumped into here, and then we add the yeast. It's really easy and simple. 5 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of white sugar. All right, we get that in there. Then I have, this sounds like a lot of earth balance, but it is 2 1/2 sticks. So 1, 2, you can make this dairy, go with butter, yum, 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 make it a cheese babka. You can use margarine, I love earth balance to bake. 2 1/2 of those, well, 2 sticks, so it's 1 and 1/4 cup, so it's 2 1/2 sticks. In here, I have 1 egg white and 2 full eggs. Here's one tip. Save that yolk from that egg white. We'll use it as egg wash, so you don't have to crack open another egg. So that's going right into here. Great. We then have a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Sounds like a lot. I adapted this from a recipe that actually called for a lot more, but this thing is pricey these days. 3 tablespoons is a lot. I found 1 is more than enough. The flavor and taste are still there. We're gonna get that mixed up. And again, put a towel. Yes, I have skull towels because we're gonna get that mixed up. I'm gonna go ahead and add in that yeast mixture I had on the side, and that's it. Our dough is complete. All right, and then we'll talk about the toppings because that's the best part. All right, make sure also that your earth balance, I wouldn't say I don't want it mushy and melty, but defrost it if it was in the freezer. Otherwise, you can use it right out of the fridge. Alrighty. Once all those ingredients are incorporated, I'm gonna add the yeast. You also, like I said before, you can make the yeast mixture in this bowl, and then it will really all just mix together. So then you can cut out that step. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a mix to make sure it's good and add it in. Now you have to give this a minute till a nice dough forms. Don't think you need to add more water. Let it incorporate, and a beautiful, beautiful dough is forming. All right, give it another minute. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys this dough. It is a beautiful, it doesn't feel like challah because of all the earth balance, but it is a gorgeous dough. It may feel a little sticky to touch, but once it's finished rising, it's easy to roll out, it doesn't stick. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. If you're in a bind and you just wanna do this and make it, give it half hour. But if you have time, give it an hour. If your kitchen is not boiling hot and it's cool, you can probably go up to 2. Sometimes I get this up in the morning, and I kind of then just let it sit until I'm ready for it. Again, if it's hot though, it will rise a lot faster. All right, we're gonna cover that, put it aside, and now let's discuss our toppings. So, You can put anything in a babka. Like I said before, cheese is really yum. I've made that for like breakfast, cheese babka. But I'm gonna do the 3 that I sell and the 3 that are the most requested and the biggest fan favorites. So we have chocolate, cinnamon, and cookie butter. Yes, cookie butter babka is amazing. Okay, again, I will post all these ingredients, but basically cinnamon happens to be my favorite, and when I post this, you're gonna be like, what is in that? What is she talking about? But trust me on this one. It is brown sugar, cinnamon flour. I melted some more Earth Balance, and an egg white. I know it sounds crazy. This cinnamon filling is the best I've ever tasted. You can put it in rugula. You can put it in any kind of store-bought dough. If you want to use like a puff pastry and just like stick it in, I will love this cinnamon filling. Okay, so there's my cinnamon. Now let's talk, and that gets 1 filling actually, because sometimes like the chocolate I'm going to explain to you has a wet and a dry filling, but the cinnamon is just cinnamon. So the chocolate filling, you have a dry, a wet, and then I actually even like to add chocolate chips. So I mix the wet ingredients together because something I did notice is that they sit and it actually gets thicker, because right now it's very runny and that won't help us with the babka. We want something that's gonna smear on the dough. So I actually will make it now. Once my dough is rising, I let it sit out for an hour and it gets nice and thick. Something also, it freezes really well. The dry and the wet actually freeze really well. I don't even defrost the dry filling, but the wet filling I would defrost, and it actually gets a little thicker, even easier to smear. So that's my 3 things, and I always like to add, remember I showed you guys these Parv Nestle's. I'm excited about those. I put also these in the middle to have like 3 components. And then the cookie butter I actually find the easiest. I use the cookies and the cookie butter because you don't have to make anything. You just take this, it is perfect smearing consistency. You go ahead, you make it, and then I also put cookies. You can buy the crunchy one if you don't want to buy the cookies and this, but I like to always, again, do different textures and things. Okay, so those are my 3 toppings. I'm gonna let my dough rise and I'll see you back here in a little. He makes 2 babkas. What I'm gonna post for the chocolate is enough for 2, so if you only wanna make 1, half the chocolate, dry and wet ingredients, or make 2, and I told you it freezes really well for next time. The cinnamon, double, it doesn't make a lot. I almost would double it for 1 if you want like extra cinnamony. And the cookie butter, you'll just see 1 jar should be enough. But again, if you wanna load it on, you might need more. Okay. So we're gonna get our dough here, and we're gonna split it into, it's for 2 babkas, we're gonna split it into 4 equal parts. Each babka is gonna get 2, and again, I'm gonna show you now how we roll this out. It can be, you know, measured and be perfectly even, or you can just kind of give it an eyeball. It always comes out good, it rises, and it's delicious regardless. Okay. So I'm gonna start, let's move back so you guys can see. I'm gonna start with 1, and I'm gonna go with the chocolate, make a chocolate one, cookie butter, and then I'm actually gonna use the cinnamon for the other dough that we had spoke about. Okay, so you see here I have a silicone mat. It is very, very helpful for rolling out doughs, sugar cookies, rugula, babkas. And you're gonna roll this out into like a rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfectly even. We're rolling it up. You know, it doesn't matter if it looks good. I want it decently thin, not enough that like it would crack and you could see through it, but I want it nice and thin. And you see mine's even coming off the mat a little. Totally, totally fine. If you find the dough is a little sticky, add a little bit of flour or spray with like a canola oil spray, your rolling pin. So also if you don't have a mat, do it right on your countertop. I would put a little bit flour down just so it doesn't stick. Okay, you see mine is not perfect. It's barely even a rectangle, but it's fine, and I'm gonna go with it. Now, for the chocolate, and again, I told you that this chocolate could sometimes be a little bit thin. So keep it in the fridge till you're ready to use it. We'll thicken it up. Or add confectionate sugar to it if you want it a little thicker. Okay, and I'm gonna spread that on. And when I told you I freeze it, it actually comes out really thick, and I really like it, and you need almost like a offset or a knife to spread it. But right now, it's perfect, beautiful consistency. Make sure you go to the edges with that, okay? There's the worst is a bite of babka with nothing in it. I mean, I'll take babka with just dough, honestly, but when you have all this good filling, you want to leave any dough, without. Okay. Be generous, enjoy it. You want oozy, delicious, oozing, melty chocolate every time we bite into this. Okay, so I got my wet filling. Now I'm gonna take my dry filling, sprinkle it over. Now dry fillings help wet fillings stay because they are liquidy, so it kind of seals it in. So make sure you cover it. Okay, perfect. And then again, I told you before, I like to get my chocolate chips. So I'm gonna just get a scattering of those. Okay, now here comes the part where we roll. You're gonna start at the part away from you. You're gonna pick up the edge and you're gonna start rolling it towards you. Now, because of all the fillings, here's how you're gonna roll. Because if you just kept rolling straight, you would push all the filling out, and none would end up in that part. So every time you roll, I want you to lift the dough and come up. So you kind of lift and roll, and that will ensure that your topping stays inside and doesn't get pushed to the front. So lift and roll. And you see, I'm getting chocolate everywhere. It don't matter. Yum, the more the merrier with this chocolate. Okay, so we are gonna do that. And now we have a beautiful, nicely rolled log. And now we're gonna do it with another one. And then I'm gonna show you how we make our babka. So again, if you guys wanna watch again, we're gonna roll this out. And now again, there's now chocolate on my board. Yum, let it get into the dough. The dough will be chocolatey. Good job, all right. You see how my dough's a dot sticky? So I'm gonna actually probably get some spray and roll this out. Well, it's actually working okay. Flour or spray works just fine. Hold that thought, I'm getting my spray. Okay, I have just good old spray. I'm spraying the rolling pin. If it gets onto it, there we go. You see that smooth transition now? Now it's not sticky. All right, and again, roll this into some semblance of a rectangle. You do want it to be longer on one side. You know how I rolled it, but if it's not, it's not, it's fine. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go again, wet filling. You can also kind of pour it like that in the middle and then spread it all around. Yum, 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 yum. So I also will show you if you want to make like babka bites, you do the same technique, but we'll cut it differently. I'll show you. Okay. Again, I need a little bit more. We're gonna get it to the outside. I have a lot left over, so again, this recipe is enough for 2 babkas for the chocolate filling. Okay. You could also just like put this in a puff pastry, like a bareka, make like a chocolate bareka. That's actually fun for Hanukkah, good idea. All right, dry filling and my chocolate chips. Scatter them around. If you don't have chocolate chips, no problem. What you could use also is like a bar of chocolate and use a peeler and get chocolate shavings, which is also really fun. You can also use that for the top as decoration. Okay, remember, farther side away from me, the long side, you're gonna lift up and tuck, up and tuck. Nice. And we're gonna keep doing that until we finish this roll also, and then we're gonna braid our babka. Alrighty, yum, yum, yum. And this is why sometimes I buy the Trader Joe's babka. Delicious with less effort, but still, it's super fun to make your own. Okay, you see I have 2 logs here. I'm actually gonna grab a knife. Okay, so you have 2 logs here. I'm gonna I'll face them this way, the long way. Okay. Now, starting at the top, but like 2 inches from the top, so not all the way at the top, you're gonna make a slit. So again, keep the top intact and start a slit all the way down your babka. And again, when you get to the bottom, leave 2 inches. Do not cut through all the way. You're gonna make a slit, and in doing so, you're exposing all the layers you just rolled. So gorgeous. Okay, then you're gonna take the tops And you're just gonna twist this around each other. And again, it's messy, it's sticky, it's gonna be amazing. Okay, twist them around each other. And make sure while you're twisting, it's open and the folds are exposed. Gorgeous. You're gonna kind of smush like we do with challah, pinch and smush the ends. And there you go, you have your rolled babka. I'm gonna get the other ones done, and then we're gonna get our egg wash and decoration on top. I wanted to show you guys the cookie butter. So first of all, this is one of my favorite and most essential tools in the kitchen, an offset. Again, cookie butter is already like in this consistency to spread. So it's very easy because you don't have to make the filling. So I'm being very generous. I almost used a whole jar just for one babka. You could probably spread it between two, but I'm only making one and I have it, so why not? Alrighty, make sure again, get it to every side. Oh, this smells so good. Okay, so now I'm gonna take like 3 or 4 cookies and I'm just gonna crush them up right over in there for like a little crunch when you're biting. And again, this cookie butter does come in crunchy, so you can just go that route, but I like this. Okay, I'm gonna roll and I'll show you guys again just how you make the babka. I have one already done. So I am gonna do the cookie butter and then we'll egg wash it. We egg wash it just like challah. I saved my yolk from before and I think that's totally fine. I'm not gonna add another egg to it. It's fine, it'll be a little dark. It's totally okay. I have my knife. I'll do it on this view for you guys so you can have a better idea. 2 inches from the top. I'm not cutting all the way down. Exposing your layers. You might need to cut a little more here because through the cookies. And then connecting at the top, kind of like, then just twisting it around. This one looks very long. Twisting it around, twisting it around. I'm gonna put it in a loaf pan. What you could do also is go like, make it round with a hole in the middle or kind of twist it around itself that way and you get more like a round babka. Oh, also I failed to mention, if you wanna make like little like babka bites, when you do your log, just cut circles and put them in muffin tins, and that would be a really cute way to do it. I would cut down my cooking time significantly, but that's a really fun way to do it too. Okay, I have my babka, all gorgeous. Also, if it doesn't even look so pretty now, once it cooks in the oven, it's gonna be beautiful. I have my parchment paper lined in my loaf. Perfect, and now I have my chocolate is over here and my cookie butter is here. How are we gonna do this? I have my egg yolk from before. I'm gonna actually do the cookie butter first because it doesn't travel as much as the chocolate, so, or you can wash this in between. I'm just egg washing like you do challah. Just give a nice egg wash. And now I always put sweet crumb on top. And I'm gonna also put so I'm gonna put sweet crumb on top, and then for the cookie butter, I'm gonna crumble more cookies, and for the chocolate chips, I'm gonna put more chocolate chips on top with the sweet crumb topping, which I'll put the recipe for. Also, it's the one I use for my challah. I actually keep some cookies whole and then like shove them in there like that to give it a really nice look. And then we have chocolate chips. And this is gonna go into a 350-degree oven for around 45 minutes. And like I always say, know your oven. So check it, I'd say after like 35, I would start to check it. These can get very raw inside, so you do wanna, even if the top looks a little done, give it a little extra time so the insides are not raw. I know a lot of people like raw babka, so you know, power to you, eat it as you want it. But if you want it cooked through, I'd go more on the 45-minute side. All right, I will see you guys later. All right, these got sweet crumbed and their toppings. They look gorgeous, and these are going to the oven. Now, I did not forget, I want to show you guys the, this dough. So again, it's funny, I was in Gourmet Got today. They did not have any more of the red one. So I guess it is hard to find. But I know it's not a yeast dough, like I said. So I tried it out. It was so delicious. This is the dough. I would love if we can get this in bulk. I know also they do make a yeast dough that we don't have here, but I'll show you. It's very this simple, exact same way you roll it out, minus all the, you know, other dough. I brought it to room temperature because it does come frozen. It doesn't want me to open it. All right, there we go. Okay, so it comes like this, and I'm just gonna roll it out so it's more, but it's like a really pretty rectangle. I'm just gonna roll it out so it's a little bit thinner on my thing. It's not sticky like the other dough, but again, if you need to just flour your surface. Okay, and this is gonna give me actually one. I'm gonna watch, I'll show you what I do with this one. Instead of starting with 2, I'm gonna make it and then I'm gonna end up with 2. Okay, now I'm going for my cinnamon filling, which is a little thicker than the other ones, but still really, really yummy. Okay, I'm gonna go again all the way to the edge. My offset would be great for this, but of course I didn't wash it after the cookie butter, but like I'm sure cookie butter and cinnamon is probably really yummy too. I have like a real cinnamon obsession. If you guys have been following me, I choose cinnamon over chocolate every single day of the week. I love like even though I don't really eat so much cereal, my pantry is stocked with every cinnamon cereal under the sun because I just like it. My kids actually like it too. I've adopted their taste buds. Okay, so I want you to remember I told you I would double the cinnamon recipe because I'm done with it now. And it covered this whole thing. Okay, excellent. Now we are going to roll like we did the other ones. Let me get that out of the way. Oh, and it's such a beautiful dough. You see how it just rolls? Ah, I'm excited about this. Okay, so now I have one roll. So now here's what you can do. You can cut it like that, and now I have 2. Or if you wanted to keep it like that, I can like kind of smush it back together. You can do your cut like that, and then kind of with it connected, roll it against each other. But otherwise, I'm just gonna do it into 2. It looks a little smaller than the other ones, but just as delicious. Fits in my loaf pan and was perfection. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get this egg washed also, put more sweet crumb, pop it into the oven. This actually needed almost a full hour as opposed to the other dough. I'm not sure if it has to do with the yeast or not, but I did find that this one needed a little bit longer. Let's get our sweet crumb. I told you guys before, I keep sweet crumb in the freezer. It freezes amazing. And look, I didn't even really have to defrost it, and then I always have it on hand, ready to go. And there we go. So this is, again, that store-bought dough. I'm gonna pop this in the oven with the other ones, and I will see you when they're done. Okay, here's the cookie butter. Here's the chocolate, and this is the cinnamon with that other dough. Now, it's not as pretty. It's not a yeast dough, so it's a little flat, but I'll tell you what, this was beyond delicious.